Hello, people of the internet. My name is JD Shadow. I want to post this really quickly because I do believe that we need to clear the air about the Froskurrin scandal that keeps going on, and apparently she's doubling down on what she had said, and apparently she wants to, along with her followers, smear everybody as somebody who is just quote-unquote fragile men or couldn't handle what she said. And I want to actually say to her right now, shame on you. Shame on you. You have zero credibility. You have zero charisma right now. And right at the moment, you need to be quiet. You really need to be quiet because you are willingly smearing those people who are critiquing you and criticizing you for what you said. And it's not fragile men who are criticizing you. It's men, it's women, it's conservatives, it's progressives, it's liberals, everybody in between. Because what you did was you put the blame onto everybody else for not agreeing with you and to try to shut up criticism about your style and how you come across. Had nothing to do with the fact that you are a woman. Yes, they use the lowest hanging fruit, and I wish they never did that. To sit there and say that that's the majority of the comments you are getting as a direct result of this, from the fallout of this, when we all know it is because you couldn't hold a candle to Morgan Webb or Olivia Munn, so you might be smearing them as well, saying that they couldn't do the job that you have right now, when they have done the job for years at G4 before you ever came along, before people even knew you existed. Never mind that it cheapens the stories of people who have actually gone through abuse, have actually gone through harassment and threats and vitriolic behavior aimed at them for whatever reason it may be. We should never condone anything like that ever toward anybody, male, female, or otherwise. That is dishonest and flat out disgusting, and you should be ashamed of yourself for smearing good, honored men and good, honored women like that. And you should not hold a job at G4 right now. And the only reason you do is because Adam Sessler is a shill-lib that agrees with you. And he's been like that for years. And I don't understand where he got derailed like that. The reason they're targeting you specifically is because you are new. They need to be able to trust you. They need to be able to know you can do the job. You have big shoes to fill. You want to know the real reason why men want Olivia Munn or Morgan Webb back? It's because they trust them to deliver quality, honest reviews of video games. They don't get that with you. All they got so far is your rant. And that's the only thing that you have of value right now. People from League of Legends don't like you. Let's get that through people's heads. They don't like you there. People thought you sucked. And the more that we're seeing this, the more we can understand why they didn't like you, because you can't handle criticism. You go for the sexism card every single time. You only listed 4 comments that were vitriolic. And no, we don't condone that. But what about all the other comments that I'm pretty sure you have? You want to smear people? You want to smear people just because they didn't like what you said? Or they thought, hey, I didn't attack your gender. I called out and pushed back against what you said about a particular game being multi-platform, when in reality it was exclusive and we all knew it was. And yes, I heard about that. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I've heard about it. Or say, hey, yes, the 2 people who preceded you, yes, they were attractive, and yes, we are allowed to say that. How dare you criticize us for trying to compliment someone's good looks? We can be respectful and do that at the same time. It's not outside the realm for us to do, but we also trusted them. We knew that they were going to be honest, that they weren't going to take payment under the table to say something that was not our honest opinion. But we don't know if that's what you're going to do. And the way you said what you said about how you guys do reviews and how you guys read and how people write the script for you, I think the FTC needs to investigate you guys. And if they don't do that, then they have a problem themselves, and yes, we'll call them out on it. But this is not just misandry, and yes, that does exist. This is outright slander. And your followers, the cult-like followers you're having right now, are not helping you. You need to get out of the echo chamber and see that it is not about your gender. It is about your ability to be credible. And I saw that, and I read through those things, and I have to tell you, that is abhorrent that you are smearing men like that. Men who would not ever think of harming a woman, who would not ever think of treating a woman with that much disrespect, but would criticize and would push back on the things they did say if they felt like they had something of value they could counter an argument with. And that's not being a sexist. That is being a decent person to be able to have a constructive dialogue with somebody. And outside of the vitriolic and the obvious trolls, not a single person has ever interjected gender into a conversation which was critical of you. Yes, they do believe that Olivia Munn is a female, and yes, Morgan Webb is a female. And you know what? More to the point, you should be ashamed for yourself, because by doing this, you are trying to say that you're better than them. You're not. You are not better than any of those two, or anybody else who came before you on the female side of G4. They should be insulted by what you're doing, because what you're doing is insulting them. You're insulting their legacy. You are insulting women, because why do you think they needed your protection? Why do you think they needed you to say that for them? Why do you think that they needed to have you speak for them? I'm pretty sure they could speak for themselves if they really wanted to. By the way, where's Morgan Webb's contract to be rehired on G4? Olivia Munn was offered, but where did that go? I wonder, where did that go? Do they think that you were the goddess that was going to bring G4 back? Is that it? Is that the way? Or was it because, hey, we can put these woke skull politics into our thing, and if everybody disagrees with it, then they're a fragile male? But would somebody who disagree with how you scored a game a fragile male? Is there anybody who would disagree that maybe a game that you didn't like was a game that they liked? Are they fragile because they disagree with you? I don't think they are. But I agree that you are fragile because you can't handle critique, which is, by the way, because you're a public figure, you are going to get no matter what you try to do. We get it all the time. And you know what? If it's a troll or if it's somebody who's just trying to get attention, we ignore it, because we know by giving them the attention they have already won. Unless, of course, we are weaponizing trolls, which you are probably doing right this very second. And the more you're going and saying, oh, well, these are just fragile males, they can't handle the fact that I said the truth. BS. You didn't say the truth. You flat out lied to us. You flat out lied to us, because we all know you got constructive critique about your work. And you know the real reason they're going to specifically target you is because you're a new person. You have yet to prove to us that you can hold a candle to what Morgan Webb or Olivia Munn did on that channel. And you have not proven that you can do that. Instead, the only thing that you know how to do is to run your mouth and to provide rants that the only reason they're even on the channel is because Adam Sessler is signing your paychecks. And he's just as woke as you are. And Adam didn't used to be like that. He used to stand up, be a stand-up kind of person who stood up when YouTube was changing the algorithms, or when the MCNs were suddenly getting shafted by YouTube. Do you remember the podcast he did with Total Biscuit when that all went down? He was a stand-up person, and all of a sudden he goes into this territory. So yeah, somehow something changed about him, but I don't think anything changed about you. You are continuing to go down this route, and this is going to go down the route of absolute mayhem and chaos and Armageddon. And G4 as a whole right now has enough problems with reviewing year-old games that they've had several people who have done much better reviews. Angry Joe is one or two people, and he can make reviews that run circles around anything you're doing. What do you have to show for yourself? This rant. That's all you really have. Take that away. What's left? No one would give a crap about G4 right now if it wasn't for your rant. So congratulations, you have that to go on. But you also now have that little problem that I said, which is now we don't even know who is actually playing the games you're reviewing. We don't even know if you're playing the games. We don't even know if that's your real opinion or not. Is EA signing your paychecks? Is a third-party company, is Activision Blizzard signing your paychecks? Who are they? Who's writing those reviews? Because I feel like we really need to know that. That was the real problem with that. But quite frankly, you want to shift the focus back on the fact that there's a few people out there who don't know how to behave, And because of that, that's the only type of criticism you're getting. And I would call BS on that. We are free to criticize you, Frost. We are free to say what we really believe about your rant. And it was abhorrent because it shows that you cannot handle criticism. You cannot handle any form of critique. You want to smear anybody worse than the Young Turks did to Aaron Mate or Glenn Greenwald or Jimmy Dore or Kim Iverson or any of those other people who have suddenly gotten better than they have and they get jealous themselves. That's what you were. And that's what Adam is. It's like Adam's become Chink Uger and you've now become Anna Kasparian. And that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. And if Adam is saying, hey, you can eat excrement, or the word that he used for it, well, assuming we would actually do something like that, let's start with him, because from what I saw him tweet within the past few days and within the past few months, he's a piece of it. I'm going to leave it at that. I said this was going to be a short video and I'm rambling on as I usually do. However, if you're somebody who's watching this right now and you think, oh, she's calling me a fragile male, or there's all these astroturfed people who are cheering her on, you are allowed to criticize her. Go ahead and criticize her. No, don't be vitriolic. Don't go into threats, but you're free to criticize her. That's what this is about. She's trying to smear you. Don't let her do it. Call her out on it. You are free to call her out on it on her Twitter. You are free to do that. It is okay to do that. Stand up for yourself. Be somebody who, at the end of the day, has more integrity than she does. And make sure they know that Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn did the job 10 times better than she ever is going to be doing it. Because it's quite frankly clear that she has no interest in improving what she's doing. If she really gave a crap about the video game industry and about what she's doing, then she would take this into heart, ignore all the vitriol, and actually say that she is going to have a little bit of charisma, a little bit of integrity, and show that she is going to do the job just as well as Webb or Olivia Munn did. And to all your Twitch streamers and the YouTube content creators who are cheering this on, you are just as much of a problem right now as she is, because you're not calling it out and you're thinking the same thing that she is right now. You have to recognize this. She is smearing gamers, male, female alike. She is smearing them. She has no right to do that. This is about her being new and her being untrustworthy, not about her being female, because she's going to keep trying to do this, and Adam Sessler is approving and agreeing with this. If you're cheering this on, then you really need to stop now and listen to us instead of her, because you are doing the work for her the more you're cheering this on. You really need to stop. You really need to recognize that us criticizing a female doesn't mean we hate her being a female. And for you to agree otherwise is you just doing the job for her and smearing good-natured gamers, not TM gamers, gamers period. And if you want further proof that we do respect female gamers and females in the gaming industry, look no further than us putting Melody Mack and Leonard Kirstner on a pedestal and how we reacted when we heard about the Activision Blizzard scandal. If we really were against females in the gaming industry or female gamers, you would not even hear us say any of that. Shame on you, Froskurrin. You don't belong in the gaming industry if you keep doing this crap. And then those people who are pushing back on her, as long as it's civil and as long as it's not trollic or trollish, by God, keep pushing back. It's the only way that we're going to break through that kind of narrative. Let's stop with the misandry in video gaming right now, please. And not only the heat for what she said, but keep the heat on G4 and the FTC in order to make sure that their integrity is on the par, because from what she said in the middle that no one else is actually talking about, I have a feeling there's something further that G4 needs to answer for there. And if the FTC is not going to investigate, if they're not going to do anything about it, then we need to call out the FTC as well, because that's a whole nother can of worms we can open, and I am ready, willing, and able to open it. My name's JD Shadow. That just happened.